Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to We All Suck at Starcraft 2. My name is Killjoy, and we are back looking at another replay from the three of us playing Starcraft 2 kind of meh. So, in front of your screen there is me, Mr. Killjoy. To the south is Mr. Mark, and over here on the right hand side, on the far right as usual, Mr. Fruity. As you can see, standard sort of gameplay here, 2 Terran and a Zerg. This is an interesting game, and I'll also get to something later on that I can't show you, but we'll get to that when we get that. This map, if you look at it, is kind of interesting because you have your main here and then your expand, but the distance between the middle of the map and each opponent is very, very close together. So before the game, we realised that this is probably going to be a fairly short game, and you can see that it is. Me going gas first, not probably not actually. What am I talking about? Yeah, I think I got gas, supply depot gas, and then barracks. Mr. Mark going for the double gas and barracks, and Fruity going for the spawning pool first, then the gas there, and not expanding like you'd expect a Zerg to do normally. Actually, building this was probably the smart decision because, as you'll see, I go Reapers, not the most efficient way, but I do get a couple, and I believe that getting some Zerglings out here made the most amount of sense because of how short distance it is between your base and the enemy's base. So, you'll see here, nothing too interesting, just going for the double gas. My long-term goal is to firstly get a Reaper out, and then look at maybe using a Banshee or Liberators or something like that, which you'll see. Mr. Mark going for the double expander, playing the most standard I think out of the three of us. I mean, Fruity playing fairly standard as well, but going spawning pool and then hatch with dudes here. And that's it at the moment. Nothing hugely happening. One Reaper popping out for me, and you'll see that I get another Reaper, and then off I go to Pester. Mark here getting a couple Marines out, getting a second barracks, chucking down a supply depot. Still, as you can see, these need building both of them and then not using them efficiently, but still getting gas nevertheless. And Fruity just pumping out Zerglings for the most part at the moment, I think, preparing for some kind of aggression. Scouts, well, has his overlords in some fairly good positions, but I don't think he actually ever scouted, so let's find out. No, he didn't see. He hasn't seen either bases. I think. Excuse me. I think at this point he should have probably gone and just scouted over me or Mark, just to see what was going on there. I am now currently in the combat here. Let's bring this back up. Thought I'd pester him a little bit. You can see them heading over, trying to find a way into the base. Realised I got seen. Not sure what happened here. I meant to hold both of them, but I must have either clicked. No, I didn't click one, so I must have just accidentally clicked one and sent it around. Gets in, has a little look. This charge I really like, but I hate the fact that it only does 5 damage now, but it kind of just disrupts the lines, sends them flying. It's me shooting and killed a dude. I didn't even know I managed that. Go on, kill him. Gets out of there just. The other one, I realise, is still here. He then decides to jump into the enemy's base. Sneaky, 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 but now there's a queen there, and let's be honest, Reapers don't do a great job. Just wanted to do a bit of damage there and then fly off. I think this guy gets killed anyway. Pop in here, and a few pot shots. This is basically the only thing that's happening at the time, and then also, this is my fault, but this is also frustrating. I wanted this guy to go back to my base, and instead he jumped up the cliff there and got murdered. I think the other one got killed off as well. I know he's going back home. During this time, not really building a lot. I can't do. I've got double barracks, but I can't control that very well. So you can see my base is looking fairly rubbish, and I'm massively behind. If you look in terms of units and things, I've got the Reapers out, but nothing else. Both these guys have their expansions down. Fruity now got a Roach Warren, probably building roaches. He's got an Overlord there, but basically he's going to be getting roaches. Sending these guys, he gets killed off, which is unfortunate. Boom! They are fun to play with. I'm watching them flail around. That's kind of it though in terms of my Reaper. I'm not good enough really to be using them. I shouldn't be using them, so... But a little bit of a lull now, and you'll see that I'm now building a factory and going for a starport. So my end game is to get some like air units out and kind of just work on that. Well, you see here, Mr. Mark is getting more Marines. He's got his factory down, going for the tanks as he does. Probably going to get some Marauders here. Doing all right. Now getting some more gas. Fruity, on the other hand, is still, I think, for the most part, just going for a fairly big army. I know he is getting a few more dudes. Now got roaches out. No upgrades to speak of in the works at all. He has a spore crawler down at just... Oh, he has them both down. Expecting some more cheese, more than likely. A couple of marauders popping out for me, just to defend. Oh, I think... Oh, my Reapers popped back in there. I'll just go down here now and just work on shooting the heck out of his SCVs, really. But you'll see this kind of killed me. I mean, it was fun to harass. It's nice to mix up the gameplay, but yeah, that all the Reaper stuff put me miles behind, so I had to go for like desperation tactics. My expand does come down at some point, but very late in this. As you can see, established, going for the starport now. We've got both his barracks down, just pumping out units. No, I have nothing. I've got 2 marauders, man. I've got Soddle SCVs. I do have a mule. Compared to the other guys who have... He's got, oh, even Fruity's only got a few amount of drones. He doesn't have a huge amount. Mr. Mark having the most amount of SCVs out of all of us. Workers in terms of... Oh, there we go. Now popping up to similar numbers. Putting more defences. Playing very defensive, actually. If Fruity had taken what he had and either attacked... Well, if attacked me, he would have killed me much earlier on. Maybe not because of the marauders I had there, but that was, you know, he could easily have broken through that. Attacking Mr. Mark, he would have definitely got in the base. Probably had a harder time, but this, you know, now he's got a tank marauders. He's definitely got a fairly big army. Looking at this, either slightly better army than what Fruity has, or a very even army. He's got a lot of Marines, so a lot of DPS at that point. The tank coming out now. We now start to see fairly soon. Where are they? 2 Liberators popping out from me. So this is where I'm like, right, I need to do more damage and more eco damage, anything. So I get some Liberators out, and I believe more pop out afterwards as well. Getting the armory so I can get the upgrade. I accidentally built that. That was meant to be a tech lab, not a reactor. So these guys are coming. Spine crawler here. Knowing full well that it's there as well. I'm just like, uh-oh. Run into it. Okay, that's fine. Turn him around. Let's attack from a different angle. Building a spine crawler there, which is interesting. Interesting that he moved his Zergy buddies out there. I'm surprised that they start popping off. Killed quite a lot of dudes in this base. So the nice thing about them is they're going straight for another spore. They do die fairly easy. This guy's lifted up. Actually killed out most of that mineral island. That's got 9 kills. That's got 3 kills. So these guys did a lot of work. What I probably should have done was, well, what I did here was go and attack this base now. But as you can see, his army, no upgrades, but fairly scary. Getting a few kills. Actually getting most of these guys as well. I didn't realise just how many of his workers I'd killed. Now I fly off. What I should have done was taken these guys back home. What I do now is a huge mistake. Or gone hunting for these guys. That would have probably been better. But unfortunately not. Now we see a Hydralisk Den upgrading to a Lurker Den there. Big blob. He's got a big army. Let's see what... there's a fairly decent army here. Well, he's got more dudes in the base still. Now attacking. So let's have a look. This guy's got 11. This guy's got 8 kills on. So these guys have already paid for themselves in terms of the amount of damage I did. Still now killing off some of these guys as well. Bang. Bang. Oh, I should have... Oh, there were more Marines than I thought. I should have stayed. Oh no, they were definitely... So 13 kills and 17 kills, that's basically all they got on them. And then I'm about to get attacked, essentially. So, made the mistake of leaving here for too long. Oh, we get a kill. 2 kills. And yeah, so they did a lot of damage. They paid for themselves. Made the mistake of not setting these guys up. Once I realised that lurkers are popping up here, as you'll see in a sec. I mean, look at my base. I'm fairly behind. I've got a lot of minerals and stuff. Not really spending my money. Unfortunate, really. Here comes the lurkers. As you can see, I see them walking to the base. I'm looking at this part of the screen at the time. I'm like, uh-oh, time to leave. This gets lifted up. These guys sod off, and then there comes the rest of the army. And the mistake was this did not go up, which was unfortunate. And that was that. Actually wasn't in so much of a bad position. I probably could have been alright there. Unfortunately, because I left first, the rest of the replay you don't get to see. But just to explain what happened, I left there because I was far behind. He's now buried. So my mule gets killed. These guys, if they were set up on the ramp there, then I think I could have easily defended this and it would be fine, because I then had the Banshee popping out, which I would have used. Let's have a look. How many drones did he have left after I murdered most of them? Oh, he started replenishing them fairly well. But that was it, his army. Didn't have a huge amount else. But that's, I mean, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that, like how far ahead or behind I was. I mean, I knew I was behind, but what happens is you'll see Mr. Mark's he's untouched, got a fairly big army. What happens is after he attacks me, I quit. Fruity goes down here and destroys Mark. I think Mark actually kills a big chunk of Fruity's army, but I can't see it because unfortunately I had quit the game at that point. So I hope you enjoyed this video as always. So stay tuned for more We Suck at Starcraft 2 coming your way, and I will see you guys next video. Bye bye.